Imagine defying the orders of the highest court of a country and getting away with it. Not only that, you also get invited to a court for a hearing to explain exactly why the court's decision was not practical. Can you imagine? This is a venue from the Effecta, and I'm talking about these guys and the brazen nature in which they are dealing with the Supreme Court. Now, the Lodha panel recommendations has been an issue of contention for the BCCI, but an order from the apex court of the country should have put all those issues to rest. But the BCCI have delayed this for more than a year, somehow managing to wriggle around the order, which just shows that they consider themselves above the law of the land. The verdict was passed on 18th July 2016, and yet the BCCI is nowhere close to implementing those reforms. Instead, earlier this month they formed a committee of their own to find problems with the recommendations and present it towards the Supreme Court. The fact that they were able to get away with defying the Supreme Court's direct order was surprising enough, but given the fact that the court decided to hear their objections was a clear indicator that the court has decided to judge them on a higher pedestal than other institutions or individuals. Going back to January 2017, when the Supreme Court appointed the Committee of Administrators to be led by former CAG Vinod Rai, as the BCCI had not moved an inch when it came to implementing those reforms. Now, even though this Committee of Administrators did not have any legal power, but let's be clear, when you're appointed by the Supreme Court of a country, you have enough power to do as they please. And yet, they did not do as the Supreme Court wanted them to. Initially, they tried to force the BCCI hands into implementing the reforms, but over time they probably realized that BCCI was a stubborn organization, and that is why they tried to reason with them and their state associations. Firstly, you were not supposed to do this. The Committee of Administrators was appointed by the Supreme Court to specifically look into the implementation of the reforms by the BCCI. And yet, they acted more as mediators between the court and the BCCI. The committee led by Vinod Rai also asked the BCCI and its local associations to state their concerns in the reforms and tell the Supreme Court about them. Once again, you were not supposed to do this. The Committee of Administrators was not appointed by the Supreme Court so that they can help the BCCI find loopholes and problems with the implementation of the Lodha panel recommendation, but they were appointed with a point of view that they would enforce the BCCI to reform Indian cricket administration. But a year has passed on from the first date of the order, and we are yet to see anything substantial happen in Indian cricket. The Supreme Court, in its July 14th hearing, has given notices to ex-BCCI President N. Srinivasan and Niranjan Shah as to why they attended the special general meeting of the BCCI even though they were disqualified from the same. Now, hopefully, the Supreme Court puts their foot down in the matter and tells the BCCI in no uncertain terms that either follow the terms of the Lodha panel recommendations or contempt hearings will follow. That is it from my side. Now tell me, what do you think about the matter? Is the BCCI right? Would the COA led by Vinod Rai should have been more proactive than only being reactive to the BCCI's actions? And should the Supreme Court open contempt act hearings against the BCCI and its members? If you are new to the channel, please press the subscribe button on the right to get regular updates from my channel. Until next time, this is Avenue signing off.